Hello, this is Numantian Games, and welcome to a first look at They Are Billions, a game which resurrects the real-time strategy genre, although it does so in a non-typical manner. Developed by Numantian Games and released into Steam Early Access in December 2017. For disclosure, I received this game for free. As someone who has lived through the rise and fall of the real-time strategy genre, I am amazed that in 2018, They Are Billions is bringing back some relevance to the genre in an unconventional way. When I think of the RTS, I think of games like KKMD, Age of Empires, Command & Conquer, Warcraft, Starcraft, and later titles like Dawn of War, Company of Heroes, and Supreme Commander, most of them featuring a base building and resource gathering aspect, followed by building up your army and going to war. A great campaign and multiplayer support were well-regarded features of such games, but They Are Billions instead chooses to focus on the single-player aspect, pitting the player against the seemingly insurmountable zombie horde. In its current state, the game only features a survival mode in which you can specify the map, the game duration and number of in-game days that you need to survive, and the infected population, a metric which affects the density of zombies on the map and the size of hordes that come by. The longer the duration that you choose, the easier it is, since it means that you have more time to gather resources and to build your defenses, which is the core gameplay loop. Using RTS terminology, this game is all about turtling, meaning that the style of play is more on building up your base and defenses only, so no zergling rushes here. The resources that you need to manage are gold, food, workers, energy, wood, stone, iron, and oil, with the first four being of primary concern, while the latter four are mostly used in building, upgrading, and research. In order to gather these, you must place the appropriate resource gathering building in the vicinity of said resource, where the greater the number of relevant tiles results in greater resource production, so fisheries have to be placed near water, sawmills near trees, quarries near rocks, and so on. One nice aspect is that the resources themselves never run out, so while not exactly the most realistic thing, this does save on some of the troublesome micromanagement. Gold is dependent on the population of your settlement, but in order to support a larger amount of that, you require a larger food production base. Expanding your base outwards requires you to build the equivalent of Starcraft pylons, since these Tesla towers transmit energy. Some buildings require energy to be built, where energy comes from mills, which have the restriction that they can't be placed too close to one another. Examples such as these highlight how it is a balancing act, as expanding your base requires resources, but running out of one can quickly halt this progress. Next, after the basics are in place, you have the option to build research buildings such as the Wood Workshop, which allows for the research of higher tech items such as the Great Ballista, an auto-firing tower, or even to research the sniper unit, and these upgrades are essential for survival. Based on my understanding, there are 3 tech levels to speak of: wood, stone, and oil, which is weirdly reminiscent of the ages in Age of Empires. Military units are also critically important, as your regular townspeople are non-combat personnel. This means that building walls is essential, since these are the first line of defense, which, coupled with gates and watchtowers, can provide some protection against the zombie hordes. Scouting with these troops is also essential to clear the land and to plan the expansion of your base. However, the map is also littered with zombies, and it is possible to run into a small horde which may annihilate your troops, leaving the main settlement vulnerable to attack while you frantically scramble to rebuild an army. If the zombies do get through your defenses, it is often a slippery slope to failure, since all buildings destroyed by zombies will in turn spawn even more zombies, and it is game over when your command center falls. I myself have found this game to be strangely compelling, in that more often than not, a gameplay session will result in the destruction of your base. However, there's just something about the building aspect which kept me starting up a new run, adapting to the new procedurally generated map, and applying lessons learned from the previous runs. It is about fine-tuning your strategy and to hopefully survive the horde, and it is this struggle and failure that makes the eventual triumph that much sweeter. Finally, being an early access title, I have found some issues with the unit pathfinding and how buildings block the access of troops without any clear indication, so this definitely could use some work. The campaign is also in development, slated for completion in spring 2018, which is also when the game should launch out of early access. Regardless, some tweaks and additional maps to the core survival mode would already make this a fantastic game, so I am very keen to check in again when 1.0 is done. Anyway, that will do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to keep up with the best indie games, and I will see you in the next video.